All right. Hi, everybody. Oh, gosh, it's been, weeks. Yeah, I just got home from work. Otherwise, just had the other, my main job. But figured I'd just test a few things out and probably just go through a few articles today, and go from there. Or you're just annoyed hearing this guy's voice. But anyway, got a few articles here. One's going to be called, it's kind of dives into the male loneliness epidemic that's been finally in the mainstream news after years of, well, it's like they would hear the guy's side, but not listening. They would hear them, but not listen to them. Especially when it comes to men. But it seems like lately in the social media realm, or social media in general, they tend to listen to the women that understand and ladies pull more audiences, especially on YouTube or TikTok. But it gets very divisive. Not a lot of common ground nowadays. It seems like there's always no common ground, or you can agree to disagree. That's how I would probably phrase it. Otherwise, things are just getting way out of control. And the way the economy goes in the US, well, you can take your pick. It's a lot of metrics isn't too good. Looks like, and the website is menshealth.com. That's where I found this article. And it looks like it's from Josh Glancy of October 10th of this year. So it's recent, not from this month, which we're almost into December already. 2024. Woo, if we make it. So this man's experience shows how susceptible men are to severe loneliness. Loneliness feels like a depression, though the two are not the same. Yeah, there's just different layers to it. I would say that society has men to where they don't want to have, because men feel like they're shunned if they don't. As much as ladies say they want to hear a man's express their emotions in that, but if they do, they're seen as weak. Only your close-knit circle, you tend to cut loose. Otherwise, you got to hold a firm steel frame as men. I know if I was bawling and crying a lot, I'd be seen as weak, and it's probably why I was friend zoned so many times. But that's neither here or there. Back when I was a much bigger boy. But yeah, it's just crazy how things of 20 years just drastically change, and I just turned 31, so it's quite different since I was in high school. Even my other family members, but yeah, so getting sidetracked. So none of us exactly Bear Grylls, but we packed some hiking boots, emptied Sunbury, and committed 48 hours of wildlife, which all of us should do, get some fresh air, go on a random walk, do something outside rather than staying inside all day, sitting all the time. Let's see. Something fascinating happened on the trip, though the schedule was pretty mundane or normal. We spent most of the time drinking and gently humiliating each other, we expect. There was a failed attempt to cook a beef Wellington, an extremely ill-judged hike that ended in a unfortunate trespassing incident that wasn't the extent of things. Though we have been good friends since university, they've never been away together. It was liberating to leave London and dispose ourselves on a misty northern moor. As 5 men sit around a campfire, that's always a good time. Talking, just get some stuff off your chest with the boys. We felt somewhat freer. Embarrassing concerns, old grudges were released. Yep. From ancient resting places, we were able to examine our souls. There's just a few places, even for me, it's just a way to cut loose. To say what I want to say. Tend to think, what would society do, especially years ago, and how society is not in the favor of men in terms of in certain metrics. And let's see, I stayed up all night with one mate discussing how we felt a little trapped by our lives, which had become prematurely constrained. I wanted to be a writer and a foreign correspondent, but found myself chained by an editorial desk job. He had spent several years working in finance and yearned to do something more fulfilling. It was one of those rare conversations that I had permanently impressed it upon myself, on my conscience. I'll never forget its power, nor its extraordinary impact that being away from a group of male friends, your inner circle, is so key. Creating an atmosphere that almost felt fairly savage and deeply comfortable. This trip, I realized months later that antithetics of loneliness, but then I moved to New York, having obtained some confidence correspondent role. My life swung violently from one pole to the other. London surrounded very old friends to Manhattan surrounded by strangers. I was a single and almost friendless. For the first time in my life, I was truly lonely. Especially if you... and that's the part, like, going to different locations. I mean, for guys, probably just going to a bar, in the gym, or something to meet another guy, and of course, it doesn't take too long to be buds in the short term of things. Especially if you just want to talk to somebody. And see, he was so lonely I began to crave perfunctory smile of a waitress at my local diner. Each morning I would look forward to a nod at the corner of the owner that scold me the New York Times. I also developed some strange habits, long nocturnal walks through the city's strange pornographic mentorings on my laptop. Yeah, I gotta try to limit that, boys and ladies, but it's kind of hard to tell a person that's in a desert there's some drinking water. Do you go to quench your thirst or keep going? I took the monastic pleasure in feeling isolated, letting the city wash over myself. Pleasure in feeling isolated. Feeling like an extra Edward Hopper painting, but mostly just miserable. Bah. My expectations of New York, the people I met, the conversations I have were enormous. So much of the city's television myths reveal around friendship. Sex in the City, of course, friends, but we're my devoted group. Pals help me out my gear. Yeah. And I mean, if you're reading this, it's pretty he's just relating to his one thing experience, but I thought I'd touch upon on this to, I guess, add another, knowledge, awareness to this. Yeah, thinking about it, it's just been really rough. And countless times put in the friend zone over and over again. You're a nice guy, I don't see you as a friend. It was just a continuous cycle for most of my life. There was a few times where it was only like a day or so and call things off. It's what can you do? Just try to improve yourself and try to go forward. It's tough out there, and guys don't have a safety blanket. And you just got to try to improve yourself and go day by day and kind of go from there. It's a tough sledding for guys. Yeah, it's terrible. But that's what makes us men and helps us prevail and help keep masculinity strong and keep our family unit strong and go from there. But yeah, I think I'll end it on this one, but I do have another article, but I'll be probably putting it for another video. Something wacky for space on the Fox thing up here. But alright, well, you guys take care. Have a good rest of your night or day, but it's night for me. It's almost the 30th. Wow. Alright. Have a good rest of your day. You take care. Bye.